We are following breaking news out of Puerto Rico today. A massive blackout has knocked out power to most of the island right on New Year's Eve, obviously. At last check, more than 1 million customers in the U.S. territory were without electricity. It's the latest power outage in Puerto Rico in a year plagued by power issues. NBC News correspondent George Solis is following this story for us. George, so what is the energy company in Puerto Rico saying about the cause and how long it could take to restore power?
Yeah, hey, Kate, great to be with you. So in short, Luma Energy, the private utility there on the island, saying this seems to be an infrastructure issue with an underground cable near the southern coast that went down, which led to a cascading effect across the power plants, which led to this rampant power outage. It's a blackout across most of Puerto Rico. And as of this hour, Luma Energy saying about 3% of their customers are back in line. That's about 44,000 customers. Again, just a small number when you think about that million that are going to be left in the dark here this New Year's Eve. And as you mentioned, this just adding and echoing those frustrations from so many on the island, so many of those U.S. residents who are just frustrated with the utility, saying this has just been an ongoing problem since 2017 when Hurricane Maria battered the island. That infrastructure already old and aging, this just making matters worse. And since then, we've seen a number of power outages and we've seen frustration across the island, which has led to states of emergency and calls for change there on the island. As far as the timeline here, it could be tricky. It's hard to say. Utility officials saying that it could take a day, it could take longer. But again, given what has occurred, many residents just don't know what to believe, Kate.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about that frustration. I have friends from Puerto Rico who are just so furious at this point that this has happened again and again and again. What are you hearing today?
Yeah, many of those same sentiments. So many frustrated, again, given that today is New Year's Eve. Of course, many aren't just worried about the holidays. They're worried about the long-term impacts, what's going to happen to schools, hospitals, et cetera. We heard from some of those voices this afternoon. Take a listen to what they told us, Kate.
Yes, it's totally frustrating that the government don't do anything. The people say that we don't want Luma because it's the worst service of electricity that we have in the history of our country. It's sad that in this day, the last day of the year, that impact our traditions, our holiday tradition.
Kate, the governor saying he's demanding answers, and Luma Energy saying they're going to keep providing updates every 2 hours to the residents there.